Hello, Paolo.
Hey man.
Really pleased to talk to you.
Oh, nice to be here, man.
It's about your second album,
Yeah, yeah.
and it took maybe 2 or 3 years to come up with this new album after the first one.
No, well, it would seem so, but I mean, really, after the first album, we toured for 2.5 years. We were on the tour, so purely because, I mean, the record was released, people thought a certain thing, understandably, and I found that I had to, I think, elaborate on the initial introduction of me as being a singles artist or something. Elaborate on that by touring a lot and showing people that we want to play live. And we did it a lot, and luckily people kept on buying tickets, and it made sense. And then I was writing a lot of songs over the course of the tour, but really they all were about the situation I was in, most of them. So it was really last February when I went into the studio, and none of the songs that you hear were formed. So really they were all, the album's really, I think the album from beginning to end, I think took us about, till we stopped recording, it took us about 8 months, 9 months. I think until, and that was in between mixing as well. We took a little gap in between, oh geez, we could go into why. There was talk, this record was supposed to be out last year at some point. It gets put back, and gets put back again, and here I am, trying to explain myself.
It sounds quite direct and quite natural while listening to all the songs you compose and you sing. But do you come up really directly thanks to rehearsal, thanks to improvisations, or did you write all the things before entering the studio?
No, that's the thing. No, it was all very much. It was all in the studio. A lot of improvise, a lot of kind of. I think a lot of it was trying to the first couple of weeks of the studio. We got into a residential studio. We all stayed there for a month. No producer. Well, we had two great engineers.
You get some production skills.
Well,
You
not really,
not
not
really.
technically. I have a little bit more now, but I think one of the biggest production skills you can have. Two of them are here, and the other one is really being aware of what you can do. And really, the thing I've learned about using the term producer is that a producer is more than just the man who, without if you have to build up a rapport. It's all about the rapport in the studio, between yourself and your engineers, between yourself and the band. I think for me, one of the biggest problems I had was I was, after a while, I was going into a kind of, whenever I was on an idea, I was going away and I was getting into that, and I was forgetting that I was supposed to be trying to capture some of the other ideas that the other guys are having, because it was, all of it was welcome. So after a while, I got the rapport with the engineer so that he kind of, we had an understanding, and it was easier for me to go away and for him to sort of, we liaise on how we want that kit to be mic'd up and what we want there. Luckily the live room was a very sympathetic live. It was very catered to exactly what we needed to do. And unfortunately, we only had about a month and 1 weekend there. And I think if we'd have had longer, I think it would have came a lot faster. I think we would have got a lot more done in a lot shorter a time. Because after that, we had to leave there because somebody had booked the time before we got there, another band. So after that, we we had to try and capture that sound somewhere else, and it took a while, man. It took a while to try and get it, because the atmosphere was developing. You know, no matter what musicians we brought in, the room catered for it all, and it was only getting warmer and warmer. And then, you know, I think that the main thing is not to ban that word producer around too easily, because it really is it's a massive task, something that I barely scratched the surface of. Luckily, you know, I had a lot of I had all the songs. It was like soundscapes. It was like pictures, or it was like a scene or something, where it's like I had all the instruments. So a lot of it was me, you know, trying to get the players, the brass players that we brought in. It's me going, you know, humming the, you know, and then eventually it comes about, and then I'm like, right, let's get this record, and then it's all, you know, and then just erecting it slowly, and then, you know, the arrangement building up like that, you know, somebody coming in and going, geez, I like that, and then, you know, all of a sudden, you know, Michael's wandered in and started putting a bass line on it, and it's working. Next minute it sounds like an old, you know, next minute we've got something that sounds like, it's giving me reminiscence of old like ragtime music that I used to hear, some boogie woogie, and then, you know, I think that it was what we found as we went along. We were all touching on, you know, we were all expressing ourselves through the music that we liked, you know.
There's some rocksteady flavors, there's some country
influences,
some old traditional black music. So all of these things are your roots, your musical roots.
I think they're not so much roots, more just they were there to be, you know, they're little moments in history that were, you know, recorded. You know, these albums, by these great albums that we all love, you know, that have stuck around for, you know, some 70 years, some 40 years, some 20 years,
some 100 years.
Yeah, some 100. You know, these pieces.
Irish.
Yeah, these pieces of music, these moments are all there for us to all enjoy and make what we want of them. All these lyrics, you know, people like Dylan, people like Donovan, you know, people like my favourite people, Rodriguez. Their words were so descriptive. They were painters. They were throwing colours onto an easel, and then, you know, you looked at it, you listened to it, you decided what you thought of it. You know, that was everybody's right. It's not so much roots. It just depends. It's all luck. It's like, you know, I'm pretty sure that outside of music, you know, somebody's came across a piece of music and it's inspired them to go and do whatever it was they had to do. You know, whether it was go and sit that exam for, you know, to be a lawyer, or you know, or whether it was you know, whether I've known people that music gives them the strength to go in and work in the hospital every day and put everything in a bit of perspective. You know, people music, that's the beauty of it. Music, you don't usually, you know, and it's more than just music. It's all these things are just there. It's life. It's there to be lived, and you know, fucking this. Why? You know, why? If you know, I think it's nice to always you know, the cultures. That's what I've found. I've enjoyed. You know, I've been able to go and experience a lot of different cultures and see musically, you know, what, you know, and find out the history. Whether it's been getting to spend, you know, near a week in Cuba, or getting a couple of, you know, almost a month in the Caribbean and between Jamaica and St. Lucia. Just things, and soaking out a lot of poetry from those countries. A lot of, you know, it's like, you know, obviously the Italian background. It's all, you know, it's all very. It's all a mishmash. It's all in there, and it all comes out.